So I've started this series on Find Your Food, Make It Your Food. I almost don't know where to begin with that, because if you find your food and you don't make it your food, you're going back to the foods that you love that have made you sick and obese. I did that. See, that's the real truth here, is I've lost 85 pounds twice before. Matter of fact, I've always been able to lose weight, and I never have been able to keep that weight off. And I have to tell you, that's very painful for me to admit. And this is an enormously vulnerable and risky place to be leading a group of people in an area I have repeatedly failed at. But I can tell you why I failed. Do you know why you have failed? I have failed on multiple diets because I couldn't sustain them. I have failed when I found the low-carb way of eating, loved it, was tremendously successful. I failed because I didn't make that food my food going forward. I did all that so I could get all that back there again. This time around, almost from day one, I have been present in my thinking. I have set myself in front of this food and I have talked to myself about, this is the food that works for me. Once that was a revelation that was revealed, I have embraced it. I have come to accept I cannot go back to sugars, processed foods, ice cold beer, cookies and cream, you name it, hoagies, pizza. I can't go back. That's not my food. That food causes me tremendous problems. So I am embracing the real journey in all of this of making the food I've found my food. It's the only way I'll be here in a year leading you, is if I make this my food. It's the only way I can sustain the weight loss. It's by sustaining this way of eating. I hope I've done the work. I've worked really hard on the work. I've faced a lot of things I'm not proud of this time around. But the biggest thing was that tiny little thing in the back of my head that said, if you do this now, you're going to be able to do that later. If you do this now, you'll be able to wear that and go back. You can't wear that and go back. You'll immediately gain an enormous amount of weight, like 2 or 3 pounds, just like that if you go back to carbs. And that will lead to more carbs, and that will lead to more days. And you'll start tomorrow, and the next thing you know, it's a month later and you can't get back on. That's not leading to find your food, make it your food. So I've stumbled around in all of that real failure, guys. I know what I'm talking about here. And I'm not going back. I'm going on. I'm making the foods that work, that have brought this weight down, that have reversed the pre-diabetic condition I was in and the insulin resistance. I am making the food I eat now my food. So beyond finding it, you have to make it yours. And it can't be done in a week, maybe not even a year. That's the truth. You got to work at this. You got to work at accepting. That's the truth.